Welcome to DRJ Crypto News Update. Welcome to episode 23. Subscribe now. How to invest in crypto in 2025. Lyn Alden believes Bitcoin is the easiest, low-hanging fruit to fix in a traditional finance portfolio, even with a small position. Second, the speaker focuses on Bitcoin ventures with long-term utility and less speculation, such as infrastructure, brokers, and wallets like Fetti.
Given everything we've discussed about macro in this conversation, what would you say is the best buy in markets today?
I mean, long-term, probably Bitcoin. I think that anyone in traditional finance that has no Bitcoin position should have a Bitcoin position. Obviously, it doesn't have to be like all in, like degen, leverage long, but not having any Bitcoin, I think, is the easiest low-hanging fruit to fix. Even if the thesis doesn't work out, if you got 3%, and it's fine. But if it does do some of those really bullish outcomes, it's good to be on the right side of that, even with a small position. And aside from that, I think there's like other assets out there that I think could do very well, but they all have counterparty risk. So, for example, I think that Chinese equities are super cheap right now. Nobody wants them, and I'd say there's a high probability that 5 years from now they've done very well from these low levels. But then there's some minority position where you literally just get zeroed out from owning them. Kind of like if Americans owned Russian stocks, a little over 2 years ago, those companies are still there, but your claim on those assets is basically just sanctioned away. So any investor has to take that into account. So I think that there are a lot of opportunities in equity around, but I would say that Bitcoin and Bitcoin venture are certainly where I'm focusing a lot of my time on.
Would you name any of the Bitcoin venture that you're invested in?
Well, so at Ego Death Capital, we have a public portfolio. So it's Lightning infrastructure, it's Bitcoin brokers around the world. It's we basically look into multiple different things. So anything that involves helping people buy it, helping people trade it, helping infrastructure for spending and things like that. So we have exposure to Fetti, which has a wallet that is more private and more distributed than we see from many other wallets. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. We tend to focus on the less speculative use cases, so less about like trading and leveraging for the most part, although trading is still relevant, and it's more instead about kind of like long-term utility and long-term, kind of like basically the basics.
The speaker mentions their public portfolio at Ego Death Capital, focusing on Bitcoin infrastructure and utility. The speaker sees potential in Chinese equities, but acknowledges counterparty risk, macro considerations. Lyn emphasizes the importance of understanding macroeconomic factors when making investment decisions. Overall, the speaker advocates for a long-term perspective and caution against paying excessive valuations for even well-established companies. That's all for today's update. Thank you very much. See you on the next video.